Today, we will compare peat moss versus sphagnum moss. We will learn how they form, their qualities and properties, and of course, what they are good for in gardening. This is Garden Life, the channel for all of your gardening needs. Gardeners frequently use peat moss and sphagnum moss as non-soil-based potting mix ingredients. They have a lot of characteristics, and did you realize they are actually the same plant? Yet employing them calls for some technical understanding of both their similarities and distinctions. Now let me explain further before you purchase one. Sphagnopista bryophyte plants, which are found in peat fields, are the source of both peat moss and sphagnum moss. Nonetheless, they have variances and are harvested at various times throughout the plant's life cycles, particularly their general appearance, continuity, and texture. Their capacity to retain water, and their pH. Heat and nutrient retention. Aeration. For this reason, they have similar but also slightly different uses in gardening. Is sphagnum moss the same as peat moss? Sphagnum moss and peat moss are both members of the same plant family. They are frequently referred to as bryophytes, which is an unofficial classification of plants. Instead of flowers, they reproduce by spores. In fact, sphagnum and peat moss plants are mosses, 380 distinct species of moss. As a result, when we refer to peat moss or sphagnum moss, we actually imply a very diverse range of species. Yet all of these moss species have one thing in common: peat fields are where they flourish. For us, this is crucial since it explains why we employ them in gardening. Sphagnum and peat moss can be found in peat fields. A peat field has unique characteristics. In fact, when you picture a field, you picture soil and you picture how rainwater seeps into the ground. Am I correct? Well, peat fields are not like this. A peat field is actually impenetrable. It follows that precipitation does not permeate the ground. It remains on top instead. Sphagnida enjoy growing on the peat moss covered surface of the water. These are bog plants rather than soil plants. Peat bogs and peatlands are other names for peat fields. Peat bogs or fields are widespread in many temperate, cold, continental, and even some tropical regions. Countries that have lots of peatlands are the USA, Canada, Russia, Mongolia, Norway, Iceland, Ireland, Borneo, and Papua New Guinea. The USA has 51 million acres of peat fields, or 42 countries. There are 400 million hectares of peatland, 3% of the whole surface of land on the planet. But how do peat moss and sphagnum moss generate on peat bogs? Peat moss, which is formed of dead, compacted, but not decomposed vegetation, is therefore extracted from peat bogs below the surface. You can see that while both originate from the same location and the same species of plant, they do so at various times in the plant's life cycle. That's it for today about peat moss and sphagnum moss. We hope you enjoyed this video.